What are your favorite Christmas moments and memories? That's what I want to ask, and I want to talk about some of mine, and I want to encourage you to do just to write it down, not just talk about it, because you're going to forget stuff sometimes. And you know, if you don't already know this, you better do it, or not. I guess you don't have to do that, but behind me at the beginning of the video is Space 170. That's where Tiffany Cumbo lived, her family. So I probably have some memories with, and I definitely do have memories with that family that lived in the house behind me years ago growing up. And see, the thing about remembering things about Christmas or any other time is that we tend to want to forget the bad memories. Sometimes, I mean, a lot of times, like, we remember the bad stuff, and then that kind of changes our point of view. Like, we could have a negative attitude, I would say. Ooh, like that sound you hear from like a truck or a train or something. Like, negativity is like the dark side, and positivity is like the light side of Star Wars in our world and everything. And I'm going past our park that I grew up in, and I'd say it's probably better to keep track of everything, and because it's like, if you don't have a journal, if you don't have a diary, if you don't have an archive of your life, a collection, a database of your life, of your biography, autobiography, like, it's like, who are you? It's like, who am I? I'm Oatmeal Joeyarnoldvn. It's the 23rd of December 2017. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve, and it's like you don't want to forget who you are, so you better write it down. But we tend to not do that. We don't do that. Like, a lot of people don't do that. Do you like it if I say we more than they? If I say we, you feel a little guilty. If I say they, you be like, oh yeah, they do it, not me. But the truth is, we do it, but they do it too. They and we. Like, we don't really want to be responsible for a lot of things, and we don't really want to grow and stuff, and it's a little bit disappointing. From the words of Red Dog, just do it. I really don't know what Red Dog would say. There's some dogs, a little black dog and a little white dog. I don't know if you can see it or not. Yeah, the black dog and the white dog. Trying to tell you a little bit about what's on my mind. I've been making these videos every day, and every time I do, I make it a little bit different. My father was really drunk last night. I recorded some of the audio of my father yelling at Robin Baker. It's my dad's girlfriend for the last 7 or so years. Before that, it was Debbie Dove, and obviously my mom for like 28 years, and going back to 1980 when they got married. And my father's been married probably 2 times, as far as I know. There was a person named Janet, not the one that I know, but another one, maybe a Mormon woman. And my father has a lot of like girlfriends over the years and everything, affairs and stuff, or whatever you want to call them, whatever they were. I don't really know. I only hear rumors and stuff. So I don't really know what's happening, you know. That's the kind of thing that people have about these things. Like, they really don't want to know. It's like, if it's something related to like your parents or something, it's like, la 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 la, I'm not listening. But like my mother's been married like 4 times and stuff, but I wouldn't compare my mother to my father in the same way, like saying, oh well, my mother's worse because he's been married 4 times. Because it's a little bit different. Not to say that it's not totally the same, but I would say, you know, it's not. I don't believe in relativism. How do I say that? But I do believe that you don't want to take everything out of context and stuff when you're thinking about what happens to everything in life and everything. People take things out of context and they don't really understand the whole story, you know, everything. So if you do that, you become something like CNN. I've been watching the adventures of Lois and Clark, Superman show from the 90s, and Mr. Lex Luthor had his own network for a while called LNN, not to be confused with CNN. And yeah, so one day Lois Lane, you know, girlfriend of Superman, wife of Superman, later on wife of Superman, like, she's like, oh no, what do? We got a story, but no, maybe we don't have a story, but you know, something's happening. Maybe there's a murder, maybe there's a robbery at a bank or something, breaking news, or maybe not breaking news, but it was like, you know, when you have a news network, you wanna be the first one there before other news networks. Supposedly that's what they say, right? And somebody said to Lois Lane, oh, CNN is already going there. And this is, you know, this is back in it was back in the spring of '94. It was the first season. It was back in the first season of Lois and Lane, the show, the TV show. So basically, CNN was running with a story, even though they didn't have all the facts right, evidence and everything, you know. Like, they were just running with the story. I can't remember what the story was exactly, but would you care? Do you care? Do I care? I don't know, but they were just running with the story. So LNN was like, we better go there too, because CNN is there. Why won't LNN be there? Because, you know, CNN's doing it. LNN needs to follow the Lex News Network, the Lex Luthor News Network. And if you don't know, you gotta know. You gotta know what's happening. But it's very interesting. So this is part of my diary. These videos, mostly because obviously they're not really going to be really exciting for everybody. They might be exciting for some people if you're watching this, if you're listening, I don't know. But for the most part, like I say, this is mostly a collection, a database. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not just telling you to do it, I'm trying to do it myself. Trying to keep a diary and stuff. There's different ways to do it, not just with your pen. You can do it with a recorder, some kind of recorder. And I really did like the Home Alone audio recorders. And I remember seeing the Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, when I was 7 years old, with family, relatives. We had a little family reunion, and we also went to California back in '92 to see my dad's relatives. So we were in like Los Angeles, and we went to Disneyland. We went to a few places around there. We saw my mother's brother, his family. That's Brian Morehead and his family, and really like Home Alone, really like the recorder, and we had one. We had one of those walkie-talkie things. Not a walkie-talkie. I mean, we had walkie-talkies too, but we also had one of those Home Alone tape recorders that you hold in your hands, and those are really, really good. I was watching a video like a day or two ago, and it was the Cinema Sins, where, you know, it's if you don't know, it's one of those channels that it's one of those, you know, YouTube networks where they review a movie, and they talk about all the terrible things that the movies have, all the sins, all the bad stuff in it, and it was going through Home Alone 2, and when it got to Donald Trump, it just added 1 million sins just because Donald Trump was in it. Even though he's a pretty great guy, and even though he's done a lot of great stuff, they just want to do that regardless of whether or not they know how great he is with everything that's happening. And if you don't know, by now, you may never know. Like, if you don't know what's happening with the tax cuts, if you don't know what's happening with the GDP, if you don't know what's happening with the what do you call it? The stock markets. It's like it's going up and everything. A lot of great things are happening. Unemployment's down. A lot of bad stuff is down. Like, everything is going. A lot of bad stuff is going down. A lot of good stuff is going up in America. But then that affects the whole world. So, anyways, I'm just telling you that I can see that. If you can see that, then that's good, and I encourage you to help other people see it, because obviously some people don't see it. I don't know how many people don't see the good stuff that's happening, but the only way we make the world better is by talking about the good stuff more than the bad stuff. I mean, but you still got to talk about the bad stuff too, and be accountable, be responsible, ask questions and stuff, and learn from history and stuff. And that's why you should have a diary, because you can't really help other people if you don't help yourself, and if you can't keep a collection of what is happening in your life, then you're not really going to go anywhere. It's kind of like learning world history. The only, like, maybe not the only reason, but one of the main reasons why the Western civilization did so much better than the East is because they were building on philosophy. They were building on each other century after century. You know, it started out with some philosophy for people like Plato. You know, Plato and Socrates and Aristotle, and you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, there was Shakespeare, there was Martin Luther, there was the printing press, there was all these different things that was happening in Europe, mostly in Europe. There was a lot of stuff that was happening in Israel too. And a lot of these people, like a lot of inventors in history, were white men, white guys, white males. And on TV, people will try to tell you how terrible white people are, kind of, you know, how racist they are, especially men. They try to get you away from wanting to have families and traditions and even Christmas. So I say the reason why they're doing that, obviously, you know, they don't want you to win. They don't want you to be great. You know, make America great again. Make the world great again. Make your family great again. But it starts with making yourself great again, and one thing at a time. And I have a lot of memories, and this video is not really focused on one thing. I'm just rambling, and I would hope that I could make a better video if I had a studio or something. So that is something that I really want to do. I don't know if I can do it if I don't get help or something. We all need to help each other out, or not if you don't want to, but it's probably better if you do. But this video is not really, you know, one of those Hollywood videos where you can actually see my face, and that's a little bit unfortunate because I'm a little bit out of breath and I'm trying to think of what to say, and my mind is going in different directions, and that's a little bit too bad. A little bit too bad because I'm not really building an audience at the moment. I mean, it's possible that I can get some people through this video, but maybe not. So this video is a little bit counterproductive, so I feel like I'm a little bit like kind of like wasting my time, but at the same time I'm not really taking time out of my day to make this video because I'm already walking, and I was gonna be walking anyways because I'm going to the library. Today I decided to try to go to the Forest Grove Library instead of the Cornelius Library because they both close at the same time, but I really do need to try to, I don't know why I'm out of breath, but I really do need to try to figure things out, and I probably do need help, so if you could help me and stuff, that'd be great and stuff, but I don't know what I'm saying exactly. I mean, I do know what I'm saying, and I really don't know what the future holds for Oatmeal, Joeyarnoldvn, and everything that I'm able to do, everything I've done and everything, and I feel like it's a little bit disappointing when people don't really know what I've done, when people don't know who I am, and I gotta try to figure out how to get around people like me, because that's the best thing you can do in your life, is to be around people like you. I should just probably make a video like right here. This is probably the best place, but I'm gonna try my best to continue to do what I do, everything that I do. If you don't already know, then that's too bad because you don't know, but that's too bad. But maybe someday you'll know, maybe you already do. If you do know, you can try to support me financially with Bitcoin and other things. Maybe just mostly with Bitcoin because that's the best thing you could do. This video is a little bit too long, maybe not, or maybe so, I don't know how many minutes I can upload to Facebook. Obviously I can upload a little bit more for YouTube, but I want this to be uploaded to Facebook too, even though it's not the best video in the world and not a lot of people will like it or not. And I don't really know because I have over 20,000 followers on Facebook currently, and what does that mean? I don't know what that means. I don't know, but I still gotta figure out a lot of things, and I still gotta try to work on a lot of things, and I'm still in a mess. It's got basically my public persona, my reputation, everything that people know about me is like, it's kind of like going inside somebody's room and all you see is a bunch of stuff all over the place. That's kind of what I got. That's what I got. People don't really know. I mean, some people might know, maybe a few people might know who I am and what I'm capable of doing and everything I've ever like done in my life and everything. But for the most part, for a lot of people, all they see is a big mess and a big Oja wall, and that's a little bit unfortunate. And I gotta take care of myself and figure out how to do things better ways. And I'm gonna try to up my game, always up my game, go to the next level kind of thing. And that's all we can do. So Merry Christmas from Payless. Merry Christmas from Payless. Merry Christmas.